They were able to set up custom statuses that eliminated the need for them to send out updates via emails or to have these really long status update meetings. This is one of the most crucial things that Hootsuite got out of the Wrike for Marketers platform. They were able to customize their workflow and even use a few of our out-of-the-box workflows to create status updates that everyone could just log into Wrike and see where they were at in terms of these campaigns and these projects that they were working on that were cross-functional across their marketing department. So now everyone didn't need to go over to someone's desk, send an email, send an instant message to figure out what was going on. They simply just went to Wrike and found the answer. They were able to create specific user groups inside of the tool to really help themselves organize their work by specific people who were doing it. They were then also able to get custom calendars that will allow them to provide visibility into their team's paid time off, work from home schedules, and other out-of-office days where certain resources were not going to be available to complete tasks. And then last but not least, our custom fields and our custom reports helped eliminate the need for them to have that 4-hour meeting that created that manual roll-up report. They are now able to do this in a third of the time. We're able to get everyone into Wrike, update their tasks, and then easily run the report. So Hootsuite then saw a huge improvement in their productivity and their collaborative nature by using Wrike for marketers. They were able to then really solve a lot of these key challenges that were plaguing their organization. They saw a big 200% gain in their organizational efficiency and were able to scale a lot more effectively by using Wrike for marketers. So really, really powerful tool, powerful story here around Hootsuite. And it really kind of shows a little bit about what this tool can do. So, with that being said, let's jump into a demo. Okay, so hopefully here everyone can see my screen. Please do let me know if you cannot see my screen, and I will try and fix that for you guys. But now what we are in is we are looking at Wrike. So I want to take you through a little bit of how this workflow works inside of Wrike. So if you guys remember my first slide that I showed you guys around the marketing development process and really the creative development process, this is a big workflow that we are focused on here with Wrike for Marketers. We're really focused on finding these jobs that are getting put out, standardizing our requests to make sure that we always get every single piece of information that we need from a brief, never getting incomplete briefs, and then effectively trafficking these requests, getting them into the development phase, and then really optimizing our proofing and approval process. So we're going to go through here. I'm going to show you guys a little bit about how this works in the tool, and hopefully this gives you a little bit of clarity around how this system can work for you and your teams. So let's jump into it. And let's put myself in the shoes now of a specific person. Let's say I am someone on the product team and we're releasing something, a new product, and I need to get someone to start creating a advertisement to help preemptively get this product on the market and generate a little bit of hype about what we are going to release. So I'm in this person's shoes. How do I get this onto marketing's plate? So I go into Wrike and I click on this little plus button up here, and I get the option to now make a request. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go select this request, and I'm going to select this creative request form. This here is now going to allow me to go through, fill this form out, and then be able to easily send a job to the marketing team. For those of you who are considering purchasing Wrike for Marketers or who have already purchased the system, one cool thing is that this form is a template that's automatically included with the Wrike for Marketers platform. So a lot of these stuff that you're going to see today would be included on your specific instance of Wrike for Marketers if you do choose to sign up. So keep that in mind. You wouldn't have to go build any of this yourself. This is already going to be given to you. So let's just go through and fill out a few of these fields. So let's say our customer here, let's pick a cool company. Let's say our customer is the San Francisco 49ers. And let's say our contact is Jeff Green. All right. So now I'm just going to go and fill in some info here. So as you can see, some of these fields here have a little asterisk next to them. That means that these fields are required fields inside of Wrike. So what this means is that all of these pieces of info that are incredibly crucial for me to actually publish this campaign are all being captured directly within this form. So some of those ones like budget, if applicable, doesn't have a little star there. So I can skip this field if I don't have any info. But something like project name, right, or project description, you can see that this field will pop up as red, and you can even see over on the right side of the page that my answer is required here. So this is now making it very simple for us to then encapsulate all this information in our brief to then easily get all the correct info that we need to kick this project off and properly traffic it as well. So let's just say playoff game banner ad. We are going to make the NFL playoffs and want to promote ticket sales for this new game. All right, so now we have our description. Our objectives and goals would be here to drive attendance to the game. So we can go here, target audience, all fans, etc. And so here my requested asset is going to be a graphic image. Mandatory elements, let's say this has to be 5,000 by 5,000 pixels, PNG, image, something like that. Keywords, metadata, playoffs, fans, runners, NFL, etc. And so now I can go here and I can simply submit this brief. And so now I have a great idea of everything that I need to quite simply get this piece of collateral made. So what happened as soon as I hit submit, right? You can see that once I hit submit, we left that form, and now we got into something here in Wrike, which is called a task. And so a task right now is essentially this is going to be a requested job. So once I create this task, right, you can see I have all this info here directly around the brief that I need. And so the cool thing that I can do is I can say, all right, here's my requested jobs. I can then set this up so a traffic manager gets alerted as soon as this new request comes into this area here inside of Wrike. As soon as this comes into this folder here, we're going to know that we have this new request that needs to be trafficked. So now I, say Jeff, have filled out my form. I've gotten a confirmation that this has been sent. So now let's leave Jeff's shoes, and now let's put myself in the shoes of the traffic manager. So now I'm trafficking this ad. I go through here. I see my, I see what needs to happen here with this specific image. And so now I see this requested jobs. Great. Now what I'm going to do here inside of Wrike is, since this is my requested jobs, I now need to see what the rest of the team is doing with their active jobs. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my workload view, and I'm going to see who has availability. Right now it looks like Taylor Swift is the only one on my team that is actually currently working on a new asset. So I can see that I can traffic this to anyone on my team. If you guys want to see what this looks like in a little bit more of a full capacity, let me show you something that what a true kind of marketing capacity workflow would look like. All right, if I now look at this here, we can see here all of the jobs that every person on my team is doing. Each one of these little bricks that you can see across the entire page here, these are a job that someone is working on. So if I look here, I can see I need this to be done. My due date is going to be between October 23rd and the 30th. So if I look over here, let's see who has room. Beyonce could do it, Brian could do it, Charles could do it, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Flavor Flav and Hillary look booked, but Kanye could do it as well. So could Michael Jordan and Taylor Swift. So in this case, Michael Jordan is going to be my best graphic designer. So I'm going to come back to my requested jobs, and I'm going to then traffic this to him. So I went to my workload view. Here's my request again. You can see, all right, now I know that I have Michael Jordan free for this specific project. I know what I need to do here. So I can simply go into my templates down here, and I find the project that I need that's already created to help get this asset created. And right now I know I need a graphic image. So what I do is in this templates folder, you can see I have this graphic image project. All I need to do is simply select this. And what I can see is here is my very specific workflow. I know we need to have a kickoff meeting. We then need to get our work done. We then need to prove this, review it, approve it, and then get to our destination. You guys can see here, these are the same 6 steps that were shown on that original slide within my PowerPoint that really encapsulate that creative asset development process. So I have this template. This is going to be a sketch of what we need to do here. So I simply go and duplicate this project. And now I can say 49ers playoff banner ad. And what I'm going to do is now add this into my active jobs folder. So I simply search this out here. Here's my active jobs. So now this is going right into my active jobs folder. I copy these, my descriptions, with my custom field values. And the best thing that I can now do here is to reschedule this entire project. So since I know this project now has a due date here of October 28th, what I can do is set my last task end date here to October 28th. And when I hit duplicate, Wrike's going to do all the thinking for me to adjust these dates to hit that deadline. So now we can see on October 28th, if we start on this schedule, we are going to hit this specific deadline. Great. So now we are halfway there. Now all I need to do is to take these tasks and simply assign them to the people who are going to be doing it. So I know I'm going to put Michael Jordan in charge of the stuff. Here we go. And now I know my review and approval tasks here need to be handled by my creative director. So I simply go and assign my creative director to these 2 tasks. So let's go ahead here and let's say that Oprah is my creative director. There she is. Give this to her. And then lastly, let's say that my marketing automation lady is Taylor Swift. So I'll give her the destination task to eventually stick this into Marketo or wherever to then send this off to the proper people and the proper campaign. So now we've created a new asset. So now we have everything we need to do to set up this job. And so now all I need to do is go back to this request job, take this request, simply put this here into this banner ad, and now we have our brief that is included directly within this specific task. So now I can go here, once again, assign this to Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan is going to get notified that all of these tasks that have been assigned to him here inside of Wrike are now going to be on his plate. He's going to get a notification via email. So he's going to get something inside of his Gmail that is literally going to tell him, hey, you now need to work on, this 49ers playoff banner ad. He's also going to see this up here in his My Work section. We'll go in here in just a second, but this is going to contain all the tasks that Michael's currently working on. And it's going to tell him, here's exactly how we go and specifically find the work that we need to do and actually go and execute it. That's a little bit about the kind of trafficking portion of Wrike. So now, as a traffic manager, I'm done, right? We've created our new project. We have everything assigned. We've given specific ownership to the rest of our team. Everyone knows exactly what they need to do here. And now Michael Jordan just needs to simply go here and execute on this work. So now the great thing I can do is let's turn ourselves over to Michael. So Michael is now going to go in here. He's going to set his kickoff meeting. And now once he's gone in and he's done with this kickoff meeting, all he needs to do is simply check this box off to complete. and he's good to go. So now, once he starts this initial work and begins working on this project, he can then go here and say that this task is now in progress. So the great thing is now we have a great status label letting us know where we're at in terms of this project. We can see that initial work is in progress, the kickoff meeting has been completed, and then we're continuing to work through this, this specific project itself. So then, let's put myself now in the shoes of the creative director, right? So Michael is now working on this task, but let's say that I have 10 different projects that are all going on, and I can't go and click into each one of these projects to figure out what we're doing. Well, the great thing about Wrike is that we actually have an awesome dashboard that's included with our Wrike for Marketers platform that allows you to get and view all of your active jobs. So now all of my active jobs here are directly shown within this very specific dashboard. And the great thing that I can do here is simply to drag and drop to actually complete tasks and to move them from one status to the next. So here I can say this playoff banner ad has been assigned, so I can simply drag and drop from new to assigned, and our status will change. So now my entire team can simply come here to this dashboard and see where we're at with all of our specific assets, where they're at in each stage of completion by reviewing this dashboard. And our creative directors and our traffic managers can simply drag and drop to update the status of all these tasks directly here from this dashboard. Really, really powerful and really, really cool. So now let's go back here into the idea of this project itself. So now Michael has completed his initial work. He's going to go in and mark this task as complete. And so now we can see these first two tasks have been completed, and now we are on to our proofing and approval and destination. So now let's go ahead and find this image that Michael's done. So what I'm going to do here is simply go and attach a file to this specific task. So now all I need to do is simply click this Attach Files button. I'm going to attach something from my computer. I'm just going to pick a stupid image that I downloaded earlier. And so now we can see this image that is going to be proofed is now directly uploaded here into Wrike. So what I can do is simply click on this. This image is now going to pop up. And the great thing I can do now is to actually leave comments here around very specific portions of this image for Michael to review. So what I can do is I can click over here and I can then send a notification to Michael. So I can @mention him, say Michael, please remove this dead space to the right of the page. So now I send this message. Michael's going to get notified once again in his email inbox and also inside of Wrike as well. So he can get notified in two different places that he needs to make this change. So now what we can do is to go back, and I'll actually go and make this change. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to share my screen. And now let's go ahead and make this change. So I can open this picture up, and let's go ahead and crop this. All right, so now we've cropped this picture. Now I'm going to save it. So now this picture's saved. It looks better. I'm going to click out a preview. And now the great thing I can do is back here on Wrike, Michael has now uploaded this new version, right? So now he's created this version, and I just need to add a new one to this Wrike file. So you can see here, I simply come down to this image, and I can add a version. So what I can do here is simply add that version of that file that I just created. So here it is. I'll open this up. And now, the great thing is when I click on this, we can see our new version. And not only that, I can click over here on the left side of the page and cycle between the two versions that I just created. So you can see here, Here's a previous version. Yep, too wide. Here it is, nicely cropped. So I'll go back here. I'll then click on my comments, and Michael can go here and resolve this. So we'll now see that comment area below now turned into a check. I simply move upwards, and now we are ready to submit this for review. So now what I can do is, I know Oprah is going to be my reviewer. So I simply select this image right here, and you see I have this option to create a review. So I can go here, and now the great thing I can do is to add a reviewer. So in this case, it's going to be Oprah. And I'm going to set a due date for this approval. Say this needs to be done here by the 25th. I'm also going to include myself just to show you what this looks like. So let's say these are the two people that need to review this specific image. Now what's going to happen is that when we go here, you can see within this image itself, we can either say this is approved or further changes are required. So I can say, all right, changes are required. We need to then go and make something further, make a further edit here, or I can go ahead and click approve. So once I click approved, you can see that this check mark over here on the right will then show up, letting us know that this specific image has been approved. And now, once everyone has approved this, we can see down here over on the right, this image is going to show that it has been directly approved. So now we're good to go. Now this image, we can simply click on it, we can download it, and either place it in our destination or simply send it to someone else, upload it to a digital asset management system. Whoever needs to see this, we can simply go and give this file to them. And now each review task, we can check this off. Our reviews and our approval are now done. We've now completely approved this task. We can check this off too. And now we simply need to go to our destination. I simply update this task here as well, say that this has been approved, and now we just need to complete our destination publishing. So that is, in essence, the Wrike for Marketers creative process here. What we do is we've created that asset, it's getting sent off to someone, and now we can go back to our dashboard and monitor exactly what needs to be done here. We see that our destination still needs to happen, so I can simply move this to in progress. And we can see that completed, all of our tasks over here on the right are now showing up that they've been completed. So, and our banner ad has been approved over here. Once this is done, and this destination is gone, we can simply move this over to completed, and we'll be good to go. So, this in its nutshell is Wrike for Marketing. Everything from our approving process through approvals all the way through the asset creation and development. This is how it all works. So there's a couple things I want to show you real quickly before we open this up for questions. You probably noticed that there's a few times within this workflow that I did go and actually do something called an at mention. If you guys had probably seen this, what I could do is to actually simply go into a task or into the comment section of a task, type in the at button, and then send someone a message. So in this case, I can say at Taylor and at Michael. These are the two people who have done this. This asset is complete. Please publish. And when I send this message, this is going to live directly in this inbox. So in this inbox, as an end user, this is where we can really see all of the communication that's going around each specific project. So now we have a great stream of communication around all of our projects. And instead of having hallway conversations, email blasts, instant messages, or any kind of other disparate threads that you guys may be working on, now the great thing that we can do is to simply consolidate our communication, and we can get all of these messages directly here into our Wrike inbox. So every time a task is assigned to you, a task that you were assigned is completed, or when someone mentions you, you can easily go in here and simply select any one of these mentions. When you're done with it, you can archive it, and then move on and click on the next one to simply handle all of these messages directly from your Wrike inbox. It's very powerful. And last but not least, what we have is the My Work section. This is going to show you all of the jobs that you need to do at any given point in time. You can see here all the tasks that are currently being assigned to you. Here's everything that needs to be done today. and here's everything that needs to be done later. It's very, very simple to be able to see all of your tasks in one place. All I need to do is simply click on a task and then be able to see the task. I can simply complete it, at mention, or do anything that I need to from there, and then move on with my day. Anytime, as we saw in Michael Jordan's case, he would have been assigned all of those tasks within that creative workflow, and all of those tasks for him would land here in this My Work section. So really, all we need to do is live within our requests, right? My Work in our inbox, and we have our complete creative solution, our complete marketing solution to handle all of the jobs that we are currently working on a given basis. And then last but not least, we can even go in here to reports and really get a great idea of all of the things that we are working on at any given point in time. So maybe I want to see all the projects that marketing is currently working on and all of their campaigns. I can simply come in here, select a few of these campaigns. I can then see where they're at, who's assigned, what our start due dates are, essentially, and really be able to get a great report on everything that's going on at any given point in time. We can either do this by project or even by task as well. I can click into any one of these, open up a task, and make any kind of adjustments as well directly from our report. So that is going to conclude our webinar today. I told you we wouldn't try and go past the hour, and essentially this is what we're looking at. Everything from the intake of work through the development and the trafficking of the work, all the way through the proofing and approval process. We can use Wrike to handle our work operation scale and really be able to push a lot more work through our teams and really be able to make everyone a lot more effective by using Wrike and using Wrike as a great tool to manage this creative development process. So with that being said, I'd love to open the floor up to any questions if you guys do have them. There's a question section down below on the bottom right side of the screen, so please do feel compelled to type in any kind of question into that section, and I will be more than happy to answer it for you. All right, so from here we now have a question: how can Wrike handle backlog items? That is a great question. So a lot of what we can do here as well is within Wrike we can create customized folders. So right now what I've shown you is a very out-of-the-box solution. What you can expect to see from your Wrike for Marketer solution is going to look exactly what I've shown you guys today. But in terms of having a backlog, right, this is another great question of something that we can handle, and it's going to show the power and flexibility of Wrike. So what I can do here is to also create another folder to handle my backlogged projects. So I can go here and I can call, log projects. I can create this folder now. And so instead of just creating that template and putting it into an active jobs folder, I can then put this into a backlogged folder. So once again, let's say I got that request, right, and that request comes in, and I know that this is not going to be something that we can handle currently. I can simply go in here, I can create that template, I can duplicate it, go through the same workflow, right? Let's say here, and now I can just add it into my backlogged projects folder rather than my active jobs. So now I simply go here, I copy with everything, schedule this, and I know that, let's say I need to have this thing done. Let's say I know I need to have this project done here on January 9th. Once again, I duplicate this, and now this project is going to live in my backlog. So now we can see here's our sample project. It's going to live here, and once we are ready to put this into an active status, I simply can go here and assign each one of my team members and drag this project into active jobs. From there, I could also drag this back in my backlog, depending on when, if I want to move this back and forth from an active or backlog status. Very, very easy to handle here, and we can just keep track of all of our backlog within this one specific folder. So that is one of the great features of Wrike. We didn't go too far into this today, but one of the great features of Wrike is that even though we do have an out-of-the-box solution for you guys, you can customize this to whatever workflow you guys need to. We can make all kinds of edits to not only our status, but our structure here inside of Wrike as well, to easily encapsulate the processes that you guys need to manage as a marketing team. So I hope that was helpful. But right now, I don't see any more questions. If anyone on the webinar today has any more questions, I'd love to hear them. If not, I have a quick poll for everyone, just trying to see how helpful this webinar is. If you wouldn't mind answering that for me, I would be very much appreciated. But if you do have any more questions, please go ahead and write them in that question section. Very much appreciate that. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, it's been a pleasure speaking with you all today. I hope this was informative. I hope this did help you guys out and give you a better picture of how Wrike can be used for marketing organization, how we can schedule jobs, how we can traffic jobs, and how we can really use Wrike to manage our full creative development process and our marketing development process. So we will be running a few more of these sessions. We'll be running another one next week and another one the week after. So please do tell your friends, tell your colleagues, tell your companions, tell your family, and if they are at all in need for something like Wrike, we'd love to see them here on this webinar. And if you guys are looking to start a trial of Wrike, please do go to our website, wrike@wrike.com, and we will be able to help you out, get set up with the trial of this workspace just like I've shown today. So once again, thank you all for joining on to today's webinar. It's a pleasure having you all, and we will look forward to seeing you all again soon.